Hello, good afternoon. My name is Unica Walcott. I am the host of Career Conversations. And today I have the pleasure of introducing to you all Jamar Jones. He's the owner of Foureva Media, where they do everything from podcast and digital strategy to booking speakers. He's also recently published a book, and we're going to talk about that today and just really what it takes to be a media mogul. And so I would like to introduce you all and welcome Jamar Jones to the show. Hey,
Hey, what's going on? I just
not
flew
much,
in.
just hanging out in the library today. So glad you could be a part of the show. Thank you for agreeing to be on and talk about Forever Media and
Yeah.
also your book, Change Your Life, Change Your Circle. I hope didn't say it backwards.
Uh, Change your circle, change your life.
Change.
You
I
gotta change
knew
the
I,
circle first, and then you change your life.
I said it backwards. I was like, don't do it backwards. Don't do it backwards. I still did it backwards, y'all.
It's
And this
all
is part of what makes it live and human. Welcome to.
good.
Okay, so change your circle, change your life.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So when you tell your family that you're owner of Forever Media
hmm
and author of a book, what do they think? Like, what does that? What do they think that means?
What? I mean, he said my family.
Yeah, what do they think that means?
Yeah. I mean, well, they're very great. Grateful and proud. Of what I've achieved so far.
Mhm.
I think they are from a background of. I know my dad and my mom at different times have definitely ventured down the entrepreneur route a couple times, but also worked different jobs as well. So they definitely understand the entrepreneur mindset a little bit. Now the author part was kind of like, whoa, you're an author also, and they're just more shocked than anything, but not shocked at the same time because they know my personality and my drive. So
Well, that's good. So they weren't super shocked. They were just like, okay, this is an addition to the program. So when people ask, what do you actually do? What do you share with them?
yeah, what I actually do is so I definitely tell them I'm an owner of Forever Media, which we focus on branding, strategy, video, podcasting, events. And I have a team of 10 people. And really, what we do is we know how to market like an entertainer. That is what we do. Um, in a nutshell, we know how to brand and market like your favorite artist or your favorite band. And we
Okay,
know how
so
to get that promotion, that aesthetic, that look, that fandom, and we know how to translate that into business.
then who's your favorite entertainer?
My favorite entertainer. Oh my god! I mean, entertainer in the sense of it's got to be all the classics. Michael Jackson. Um, I do love Ti. I have seen
Yes.
Ti's concerts a few times. I opened up for him one time, and he is a beast. He is a beast performer. Very underrated. But yeah, you got to give it to the classics, even the Temptations or people that really just know how to put on a show. You got to give it up to them.
Putting on a show, that's true. I feel like sometimes that's a lost art. Like I'm shocked you didn't mention Beyonce. Like that's everybody's like
Oh my
favorite
God,
entertainer.
and Beyonce, of course, Beyonce. That's like without that doesn't even have to be said.
Don't worry, I'm not Beehive. I'm not coming for you. Um, I just that's usually my first person that comes to mind when we talk about like your favorite entertainer. I'm like, so you can help me build a brand like Beyonce? Let's talk about it.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Um, so we talked a little bit about what you actually do, running Forever Media.
Yeah.
What's your favorite part about being a media company owner?
Yeah, my favorite part of just everything that I do is providing opportunities for others. It's really creating platforms and giving other people a shot and coaching and mentoring, and just helping rise and build up others. That's my favorite part. I mean, of actual work of what we do. I love that we're in the creative space. We get to do a lot of fun stuff. Like, we just got back from Dallas, Texas. We threw an event in 2 weeks with a
What?
LinkedIn
2 weeks?
influencer.
Yeah, I saw
Yeah,
the event with Shay, right?
Yeah, with the LinkedIn influencer named Shay Rowbottom. She's amazing. And we did her birthday LinkedIn meetup event in Dallas, Texas, and we did all the event planning, the strategy of it, and the execution for the whole event. And we had DJ, food, drinks, supercars outside, limo. It was at a
In two
brewery
weeks.
in 2 weeks.
Okay, DJ, limo, food in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay. Look, if you've never played like an event, like that is extreme. Like most people are having a hard time putting together a birthday party in 2 weeks for the
It's like,
kids.
yeah, it's like second nature to me. I don't know, like just throwing the event. I've did a lot of all my own promotions when I was an artist
Okay.
for music, so I did a lot of shows and I had to organize those. And now it's just like second nature to do events, conferences, big or small. I just know the ins and outs and also how to be persuasive and negotiate.
Well, I mean, obviously, if you got it done in 2 weeks, then we are on to some stuff. All right.
Yeah,
So we're having some tech issues. Ramsey says she's having trouble logging in. Give me 1 second. What I'm gonna do is I'm
yeah,
gonna put
not a
the links and
problem.
share them for YouTube and Facebook. The issue looks like it's actually with LinkedIn. It's not anything I can fix at the moment. So I want to
Okay,
keep this recorded. And what I will do is once we're done, I'm gonna load the replay so everybody can catch it that
okay,
didn't catch it
cool,
live. This is a
cool.
first, but hey, you work through it.
It's all
That's it.
good.
So give me just a moment. That's like this is the joy of live. It's like, look, I
We
can't I
live.
can't make
We
this
live.
up. Okay. So you can hear me in the background.
Say, look, I can't make this up.
So
Okay. This is the joy of
okay.
live. You can hear me in the background. Say, look, I can't make this up.
Love it. I come from the world of production, so this is easy for me. I already understand. Love it.
So we're gonna go to the LinkedIn. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna mute myself.
I already understand.
So
Good time for a sip of coffee.
okay. So this is the joy of the live shows. Beautiful. Okay, so tech difficulties. And LinkedIn is like, yeah. Okay. All right. And so you guys got to watch me just like make a couple updates. I added some links. There's a link to watch it. Also, it's live streaming on YouTube
So you guys
currently.
got to watch me just like make a couple updates. I added.
And I'm gonna close the YouTube channel out because now you guys are getting echo. All right. So Here's the fun of live productions, guys. Thanks so much for working with me. I see Ramsey got the
All
link.
good.
Thank you. Awesome. Okay, so
All good.
that's an
All
alternative
good.
view and option. I do sincerely apologize. This is one of those issues that is beyond my control. LinkedIn has sent me a notification that their platform is not properly functioning. And so, given that I do have StreamYard, this interview will be recorded. I will send the replay to everybody who said they were attending today in the LinkedIn Live event. And we're going to keep going with the interview. Jamar, thank you for being a guest.
Oh, it's all right. It's all good. I understand the game. So
oh my gosh. Yeah. So that look, I'm doing the best I can, but I'm just grateful to be here, and I'm glad you guys are sticking with me. Thank you. So Jamar, we talked a little bit about your background, how you become an owner of Foureva Media, what your family thinks you actually do. We have talked a little bit about how you put together this magnificent event for Shea Road Bottom in like 2 weeks with a DJ, food, supercars outside, 2 weeks. So is this like a part of what you normally do at Foureva Media, or is this something that's a new addition to the brand?
I would say that in this particular aspect of doing these events with influencers, a little bit new. You know, we kind of call it like a business pop-up event. But we've done some of these on like a smaller scale, but you know, with other speakers. But I would say in this capacity, especially, you know, we're in Milwaukee and going all the way down to Texas. That was a crazy, you know, we haven't done something like that. But I think that we're going to continue to do it. I know we're thinking about Denver, Miami in a couple months here. So
okay, I'll be on the lookout. I'm not too far from Miami. I'm in Orlando, so. Depending on what the event is, I don't want to invite myself, but if there's like a ticket, I might have to grab one.
Okay, that would be awesome.
Yeah. So, well, that's exciting. So, what made you decide to launch a media company?
Yeah, I mean, really out of necessity. That's really where it came down to. I was working, so I was doing music, but also I was working a daytime job in IT. So I was an IT manager there. And, you know, eventually the company that was at the office, we had about like 40, 45 people there, and there was layoffs. So what happened is, you know, I had to figure out, do I want to go back into IT or do I want to do something for myself? And I grew up in a home where my family moved around a lot. So I was like, I was kind of used to the layoff thing. And I'm like, I don't want this to be my life of constantly having to accept these layoffs. And it kind of determined my destiny. So I wanted to take that in my own hands, and so I started my company, just really anything that I was kind of good at. You know, basically everything creative. I had graphics. I was doing beat making. I was doing artist consulting. I was doing all types of stuff, and then it kind of narrowed down to something that everybody really was like, "Hey, this is really good. I want to do that with you." And then that was videography. You know, videography was kind of the piece that really took off.
Oh, that's really cool. So you said, look, I'm going to let you guys help shape this. I've got a multitude of talents and things people pay me for. Let's see what really sticks and resonates with my tribe.
Yeah, exactly. And the video took off, and then eventually we kept giving videos to people. They didn't know how to use them. So I was like, I need to, I want some more skin in the game to make sure this is profitable for you and this is a good investment. So that's why we got into the marketing space, and then eventually we got back into we're doing video. We did a lot of events also, but now we're into the event marketing and planning, because I'm like, I've been running events my whole life, you know, pretty much, you know. So I'm like, I know how to do this, and so now we're really teaming up with a lot of good organizations and businesses to execute events.
Okay. So do you have like a bucket list event? Like, what's an event you've been daydreaming of planning?
Oh my God, I'm so glad you asked this. I am so glad, and this is the platform I'm going to announce it on. Okay. So next year, 2022, we are launching a 2-day conference, which is Market Like an Entertainer Conference.
Oh, cool.
And it's going to be in Wisconsin. Really, the location to be determined. I'm still scoping and scouting. But it's going to be a conference where not just your typical, you know, you get in a seat, listen to keynotes and that type of stuff. We'll have a couple keynotes, but I want to have it be an experience. So we're going to have experience centers around where people can kind of go to. Think of it like Best Buy. You walk in, you got that Apple section, you got your TV section, and there's always those reps that kind of come by.
And they like know everything about like
Yes.
this particular area. So there's no question you're going to ask us to stump them.
Yeah, exactly. So we're gonna have these centers where all the things that we do. So we're gonna have a podcast center, a branding center, an event center, social media, and etc. So we're gonna have those centers where people can kind of walk around, look at the equipment, look at the softwares and things that we do. But then at night we're gonna have a concert. So I'm
Oh,
gonna bring in artists to actually be a part of this concert at night because we got to really teach people how to market like an entertainer, and we're gonna have a lot of influencers there, and it's gonna be awesome. But my goal is 1,000 people will be there. That's my
I
goal.
think that's super doable. And it sounds like a lot of fun. I mean, where else are you going to get a conference and a concert?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like that right there is like the icing on the cake, because a lot of us go to these conferences. Yes, we have to network, we have to go to our trainings and meet people and exchange cards. And most of the time we're counting down to the end of the day when we can all meet each other at happy hour and talk about what's really on our mind.
Right, and a lot of times that's where the real business gets done too.
Very true. So
So I'm like, how can we create an exciting event, but also with the entertainment element to it, and then have a good time. And I'm doing different genres of music. It won't just be one genre. Like different bands, different artists will come in that I want to give them a platform to shine.
okay.
But in a business setting, so it's gonna be fun.
I think that's a really exciting. I like when people come in and they say something that's like out of the box. They're breaking up old models and trying new things. So I'm really excited to see how this goes.
Yeah,
Keep me posted on the event. I'd definitely happily share it with my audience. I know a lot of people that are
awesome.
looking for ways to build their brands and grow their people. I'm talking to a few other people who are brand builders, for lack of better words, over the next couple of weeks. So I hope that people find what they need. I also realize this time of the year, a lot of people are planning their budgets and their businesses.
Yes.
And this is one of those things you want to not skip in the line items. So
Hmm. Hmm.
if you're looking for somebody to help build a brand, you need to get in touch with Jamar. If
For
this is the
sure.
kind of work that you're looking for and not really sure where to begin. As you said, you made videos for people and it was like, that's great, but they don't know what to do with them.
Yeah. People will
Um,
always come to us and they want something like kind of like a checklist item, and then we ask deeper questions, and that's really, we always typically start with strategy. That's really first and foremost thing, because we got to make sure that everything is there, and what we're going to do for you is actually what you need. Because we've done it before. I'm not just going to come in and do this little part and then get scooted to the side, because it's not really a return on your investment, and that's not really what I'm about.
right. You want to
We
make sure
really
that what
want
you
to make
offer is going to be effective and get the results they expect. And sometimes people come and they're asking for one thing and it's like, that is a good idea, but that's not going to yield the result that you're expecting. Let's talk about how we
exactly.
can build out the process and the tactical pieces that'll get it done.
Yeah, exactly, and we can do the execution on it. So after we talk about it, we can do it.
Oh, I
So
mean, well, that's a one-stop shop. Then you don't get handed a plan and sent off to Disneyland to go
yeah,
look, figure out where you're going in the park. Uh,
exactly, exactly.
so that's good. I like it. I like it a lot. And so you are running Forever Media. When did you find time to write a book? Let's talk about this.
Unique, I didn't. I didn't find time to really find a book. I write a book. I just squoze it in at night. I had these things kind of like book writing sessions that I did with my team. So after a hard day work, then we would basically have like a 3 hour session where I would just start to ramble off different topics and ideas that I had for the book. That would get recorded, and then I would kind of break down that content, and then really put it into a book format. So I just made the time. I mean, really, people need to. You will always make time for the things that are most important to you.
True.
There were times towards the end where I didn't really feel like I was going to finish it, because I just got so busy. I'm like, I just don't have time to sit around. And it was at that point where it wasn't in my strong suit. It wasn't in my superpower to do the editing, grammar, all the stuff that I find, absolutely, that's just not in my strengths. So that's why
You strike me as a person that's like, I don't like to be in the weeds. You like the big picture, and you like bring the people around you that are excellent at executing the more nuanced pieces of the vision.
of course, like, I mean, the organization of it. I mean, I am very tactical person as well. So I do like to see kind of the process and how it's broken down. But as far as like just, like getting that detailed into every little word, okay, what about this? What about that? It's just like that's not in my that's why I surround myself with those type of people that can also execute that. So that way it's a perfect flow. It's a perfect flow. So basically just forced myself, made the time, and
He said I forced myself.
I forced myself to write a book because I knew what the outcome would be. So I wanted it to happen. And I'm so glad that I finished it.
Okay. And so what did you do to celebrate?
That's good. So I celebrated with I'm like, these are good questions because these are things I'm trying to work on as for myself, is trying to celebrate more of the successes. So just got with close friends and family and be able to celebrate that. And then we had a book launch party event at our office in the lounge area. And just be able to celebrate success and do pictures, sign books, and yeah. And so I mean that's really what I've done so far. I still have yet to really just sit down and just like stare at the cover, I think, and like just be like, holy crap, I wrote a book.
Okay, so you have to make time for that too.
I do.
Like
I
force
do.
it. I'm gonna call and check on you in a couple weeks and be like,
I
hey.
do. I need to. I
Have
keep
you had
moving.
that moment to like appreciate all of the push and the pull and the struggle to make this happen? Like that part is done. And then you can figure out what's next and how you're going to market it, like an entertainer.
Yeah, yeah. I need to do that. I really do. I need to force myself to do that as well. I need
Agreed.
to. You're 100% right.
So if people were going to get your book, where can they get it?
They can get it at IamJamarJones.com/book. But you could definitely use that link that's up on the screen because that will go to all my speaking and podcasting and the book that's there. It's also on Amazon, but I like to send people there because they can get a good, flow of what the book's about and everything, and then they can click the button to buy from Amazon.
Okay, so there's plenty of options to purchase. IamJamarJones.com, Amazon, and that way you can kind of get your hands on what's next. What is the book about for somebody that's kind of curious about, okay, is this book for me? Who is this book for?
Yeah. The book is about how to evaluate your current circle and how to get into new ones. So we all are around these groups of people all the times, and usually they're the people that are closest to us. So they're your friends, family, coworkers, spouse or partner, or it might be just acquaintances that you run into. Maybe you got a volleyball league every Thursday, or something like that. And you have these groups of people where they're directly influencing your everyday decisions in your life. And sometimes you're not aware of it, and you don't realize why you're at the place that you're at today is because of that influence. And so it's about how to analyze and evaluate that current circle, and then how do you get into the new ones that will get to where you're trying to go and reach your goals.
That's a great point. I think a lot of times people think that the key to success is like, I got to go get this next degree or this next thing. And it's really the relationships that carry you. A lot of the great things, in fact, the best things that I've accomplished have been a result of, relationships with my family and friends. Heck, I mean, my current profession is really a result of my husband going, look, I believe you could do this. They're looking for somebody.
Right.
Take the job.
Exactly.
And we were still dating at that point. So people, I think, sometimes take for granted also like the people next to you. I think a lot of times you join organizations and you're always looking up at the C-suite and figuring out how to get your way. And a lot of times the way is one of the people sitting next to you.
Right. And imagine if you would have had your husband say like, no, don't do that. Like you're not ready, or, like some negative things where you would have been like second guessing, like, maybe I'm not ready. Maybe I'm not. And you wouldn't have took that step forward. And then that's the limitation and the influence that people, sometimes experience, within their life. And they wonder like, why am I still here? Why does everybody else look like they're flying and I'm still on the ground? And, but the cool thing about the book is that it's 50% mindset and 50% action. So it's ways that can really, so you get that mindset, you craft it, but then I literally have like action items that you can take right now, today, or at least within the next week, of things that you can do and to start to have this change.
Okay, so this is one of those books that's like, okay, I can actually take a tangible thing from here, and tomorrow I can apply it. It's not going to take 6 months and a move to Alaska.
Yeah.
I mean, because you read some of these books and they're like, you have to now, be a completely different human, and it's like, okay, look, I need some regular stuff for like regular people who's got to make dinner.
Yes, yes. This is exactly that. I just had somebody tell me yesterday that they're halfway through the book, and she was like, "You are very just real and raw, and it's just in a form of like very transparent vulnerability." And I really believe that somebody could, if you read this whole book and you actually do the action items, there's no way you can't change your life. There's actually no way. I want somebody to tell me they've done all the steps and they still haven't done it, then that means there's something very wrong.
Yeah.
If you have done all the steps, because I think it's pretty much impossible, even by just chance, that you stumble upon something. I mean,
he's like, this is so straightforward. You can do it on accident.
you could literally do this on accident. You can change your life.
Oh, well, we want people to do things purposefully, but I get you. Like you're saying, look, I've written this in a way that you don't have to do mental gymnastics to understand what the steps are to create the outcome you desire.
Yeah.
I think that's a really positive approach. I think sometimes, like I said, read self-help books and I'm like, can I get my money back?
Yeah.
Like
what am
I'm
I
stressed out reading this.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
that's exciting. For people who are interested in, running their own business or particularly a media company, what advice would you give them for getting started?